Can you guess what's in the Jack in the Hand? I'll give you a little hint. It's not a level 1 monster. Let's dig on into this, shall we? Hey, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on more of these excellent decks. Now, they recently just banned Jack in the Hand from remote duels, which means you're not going to get the chance to see this deck performing on the remote duel stage, which means you're only going to be able to see it through the extravaganza now, which is really sad. So Tristan Pooh, or Mr. Tristan P as I like to call him, so I can't get yelled at for mispronouncing his name, took this bad boy to the extravaganza, or not the extravaganza, the LCS this weekend, and found himself in a top 8 finish with his team. And now, we've talked about the whole Lyrilusc thing with Tri Brigade being basically a free engine that you can link climb. You also have to have your opponent deal with this. Now, what happens when you say end on a Simorgh with like a Stormwinds or an Apex Avion? With this backing it. Now, for those of you that don't know, you can make this through the Tri Brigades, and it gives you the ability to, quick effect, send one card from your hand to the graveyard, target a face-up card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So, you mean to tell me that I have an interruption in my deck? Oh, yes you do. So, cool thing with this is we can use Jack in the Hand. You can reveal 3 level 1 monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent adds 1 to their hand, you add 1 to your hand, and you shuffle the 3rd into the deck. So, yeah, you're giving your opponent a card, but that doesn't really matter, alright? The biggest thing that you care about here is you're going to be able to get to your resources so that you can play the game against your opponent, alright? And that's the major game plan about this deck. So, I'm going to use the Lyrilusc engine. We're going to link climb. We're going to massively inconvenience our opponent with Stormwinds and some other good cards. It's almost like Shaddolls are doing this. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring, 1 copy of Stormwinds, 1 DD Crow, triple copies of Drone Lockbird, 1 copy of Kinkaboyo, 1 copy of Cobalt Sparrow, 1 copy of Sapphire Swallow, and triple copies of the Turquoise Warbler. Then we have 1 Apex Avion, triple copies of Gamma, triple copies of Fractal, triple copies of Karis, and triple copies of Naval. Remember, this deck will be evolving a little bit once Kit arrives in a week, but we'll get there. We also have 1 copy of Driver, 1 copy of Call by the Grave, triple copies of Tenki, 1 copy of Foolish Barrel, triple copies of Jack in Thy Hand, 1 copy of 1 for 1, and triple copies of Infinite Impermanence. I'm glad to see that Tristan is still using this. Alright, like I said, I know a lot of the formats kind of evolved to shove this card away, but it's working here, alright? Also, VFD is a pain in the butt. We also have 2 copies of Shurog, 2 copies of the Frigette. We're not even playing the Link 3 for Tri Brigade, it's just trash. We have 1 Simorgh, 1 Link Karibo, 1 copy of the Harvestar, the Desperate Doom Eagle, 1 RB Conductor, 1 Apollosi, 1 copy of the Double Dragon Lords, 1 Access Machine with the 1 Recital, the 1 Assembled, and the 1 Sky Thunder. Then we have the 1 Omega. Side deck here, we have triple Cycle Reader, triple copies of Lancia, 1 Full RB Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm, 1 Imperial Order, 1 copy Red Reboot, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment, wrapping up a very, very, very interesting concept that is the Lyrilusc Tri Brigade. Like I said, I wish that Jack in the Hand had not been banned, and we would have got the chance to see some more cool love for this deck at the extravaganza events, but alas, it looks like we'll be just seeing these now coming out of events like the extravaganza. Next up, oh boy, is this Phantom Knights? Yep, it looks like we got some love for Phantom Knights finally out of this event. So this was Daniel Nguyen's list. He made top 16 out of this event. So what are we doing with this? They're a warrior. You know what we get to abuse with warrior cards? My favorite is sold. Now we still do have a very, very small Burning Abyss engine here. Only because my girl tour guy can bring it on out. That's the main thing that we care about. You have so much like cool interaction with tour guide in this deck, it's actually kind of insane. Oh, tech choice. Alright, so we have 2 copies of Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring, 1 copy of Siam Avalanche of the Burning Abyss, 1 Egypt Chambers, 1 copy of Graph, 2 copies of Kagemusha, triple copies of Twinkle Toes, with 1 copy of Aqualad, 2 copies of the Ancient Cloak, 1 Ragged Gloves, 2 copies of Silent Boots, 1 copy of Stained Greaves, triple copies of Torn Scales, triple copies of Tour Guide, with 1 and 2 bricks in our deck. We have 1 Autonomous Action Unit, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Different Dimension Reincarnation, 1 Phoenix Blade, triple copies of Droplet, 1 copy of Living Fossil, 1 Rank Up Magic Super Power Force, so that we can make our Arc Rebellion or our Dark Requiem. The fact that you have access to either one of these to punish the opponent in the deck is absolutely hilarious. We also have the 1 Red Eyes Fusion, the 1 Rhoda, 2 copies of Tactical Talents, triple copies of Fogblade, 1 copy Phoenix Wing, and the 1 Shade Brigadine. Extra deck down here, we have 1 Cherubini, 1 copy of Verte, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Isolde, 1 Access Machine, 1 Rusty, 2 copies of the Break Sword, 1 copy of Raider's Knight, 1 Levier, 1 Zeus, of course, with 1 Dark Requiem, 1 Dark Rebellion, and the 1 Arc Rebellion, and the 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Side deck here we have 2 Drone Lockbird, triple Gamma, 1 Driver, 2 Deck Lockdown. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand, except by drawing them. Monsters cannot be special summoned from the main deck. I always forget that this card has that second clause, but this card's really good. Destroy this card during your second standby phase after activation. We also have 1 Feather Duster, triple evenly matched, 1 Red Reboot, and 2 copies of Solemn Judgment, wrapping up Daniel Nguyen's list for everybody here. Next up, we have a nice little throwback to Dolls here, and this was Jacob Kurskin's list for everybody here. The cool thing about this list is this is our punishment target. So we just yeet the super dimensional robo at the opponent, and it's 5k attack points. Basically, we'll clear anything that we want it to. So I found that kind of interesting about this list, and that was the main reason why I wanted to cover it, was we can yeet this. Alright, so we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring, 1 copy of Ecclesia, 1 copy of the Ariel, triple copies of Gamma, 2 copies of Wendy, 1 Beast, 1 Dragon, 1 Hedgehog, and 1 Squamata, with triple copies of Skullmeisty, 1 Driver, triple copies of Nadir Servant, triple copies of Duality. That's actually interesting. So we can actually use the dualities to sift turn 1, and then we can basically play through the opponent's turn with, things like Schism and so forth. We also have triple punishment, 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison, 2 copies of Dynamiscus, 1 Reshadal with 2 Schism, triple Sinister Shadow Games, and triple copies of Trap Trick. Extra deck we have the 1 Gravity Controller, 1 copy of Artemis, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Construct, 1 Unicorn with the 1 Boral Sword, Super Galactic Yeet, 1 copy of Vanitas, 2 Winda, 2 copies of Construct, and triple copies of App Cologne. Side deck here we have triple Nibiru, triple Cycle Reader, triple copies of Heavy Storm Duster, triple copies of Solemn Judgment, 2 Anti-Spell, and 1 Imperial Order, wrapping up Jacob's list for everybody. I do like this, though. This is a little bit slower version of a Dull deck, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because this leaves room for innovation and things like that. So it might be slower, but it's definitely very interesting. And then last but not least for you guys here, I have Jabril's top 16 list. Jabril is, I believe he's the one credited for doing the whole Praying Kids Adamancipator deck. So this is the current evolution. It looks like they have cut back on the fusion cards that were originally in this, and now we're just playing a much smaller package for this. So kudos to Jabril. They were undefeated in Swiss, actually, and they lost in top 16. I'm actually kind of sad. So we have triple copies of Analyzer, triple copies of Researcher, triple copies of Seeker, with triple Ash Blossom, 2 copies of Doki Doki, triple copies of Quacky Mare Guardian, triple copies of Supplier, 2 copies of Pudding Soucior, triple copies of X-Seed, 1 Dropsies and triple Roxy's, with triple Gamma, and 1 copy of Driver. Then we have triple copies of Signs, 1 E-Tully, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Upstart, and 1 Shade Brigadine. And then we have 1 Almirage, 1 Meow Meow Mew, 1 Doodle Doo Doo Doop, 1 Unicorn, 1 Lambda, 1 IP, 1 Halifibrax, 1 Apollosa, 1 Access Code, 1 Gallant Granite, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Herald, 1 Borrowed Savage, 1 Repite, and 1 Dragite. Side deck here, we have triple copies of Droll Lockbird, triple copies of Nibiru, 2 Lancia, 2 Cycle Reader, triple Lightning Storm with 1 heavy Harpy's Feather Duster, and 1 copy of Imperial Order, wrapping up this chunk of deck list out of this weekend's LCS 10. So, very happy to see that the metagame is shaping up to be something quite interesting. I do hope that you guys will, in fact, subscribe to the channel, and then leave a comment down below. And, of course, tell me what you guys think about these lists. And I will see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day for some more cool content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.